One of the biggest gains that we've realized was being mortgage-free at this time. It's taken a lot of pressure off of being retired, semi-retired, and just looking forward to the rest of our days.
We're having a blast. We're in our beautiful kitchen. We love it. This is our third IKEA kitchen. We absolutely love IKEA. If you can not have to have custom cabinets because of your space requirements, I highly recommend going with an IKEA kitchen. Easy to design. Everything pulls out very easily. I can have lots of storage, and some things I have a drawer within a drawer. And then over here we have a dishwasher. You can't even tell it's a dishwasher. It's got a panel on it, but it pulls out and it's there, but it looks like the rest of the cabinets. And then I have an in-island microwave, and we didn't use the drawer microwave. We just used a regular microwave and have a trim piece that we put on it to make it look like it's built in. And then I've got storage underneath there and above it. And then we have quartz countertops that we also purchased through IKEA. And then we have a giant pantry over here to my right. Plenty of space for everything. Meal prep is great. I've got a 10-foot island, so it's lots of counter space. Everything is in a triangle like it should be. I don't have to go very far, and I just love it. And I can look out to the lake when I'm cooking. I love that. Deciding on what kind of oven to have was a little bit of a decision. My husband told me I could have anything I wanted because he was already putting a propane tank in for our water heater. We have an on-demand water heater attached to the outside of the house. I like gas, so we decided on this propane stove, and it can go between natural gas or propane if they get natural gas out here, but they don't have it. And I love propane cooking. I want to mention, when living out in the country, there's some challenges to just running to the store because you forgot milk. We have a second refrigerator in our garage, and it's stocked full, just like the one here in the kitchen. So that helps us with food storage. We live about 45 minutes from the closest grocery store or any kind of a store. There are a couple little places in town, maybe they do have milk and bread, but that's about it. They don't have much of anything else. So I do go through town several times a week to go to work or to go see my mother. And I will always hit the stores on the way to and from the house. And again, a big refrigerator, not a little tiny one in the garage, helps with food storage. When I'm in here in the kitchen, I love it because I can watch the grandkids at the table. Sometimes they're sitting at the bar here. Families in the living room. Some of them are out on the deck admiring the view. It's wonderful to cook in this kitchen, looking at that view out there. Right here at the dining room table is where the magic happens. I entertain 5 grandkids, 2 daughters and their husbands on a regular basis. They love to come here and have me cook for them. In fact, I think tonight they're coming. All the grandkids sit on this little bench. It's a 10-foot table, so plenty of space for about 10 people. I could probably squeeze some more in there. And the views are fantastic, and the food is great too. The dimensions of this space are 18 foot wide, 55 feet long. When you first walk in, you're met by the living room. I wanted one large room. I did not want any walls, as least walls as I had to have. Then you head to our big dining table, which it seats 10, plenty of room. And then you go right into our kitchen, hallway down to the loft that the grandkids hang out at, into our bedroom, a large closet that we had designed by Container Store, and then into a large bathroom. When you head outside, we have a 71-foot deck that faces the lake. And then we have a 16-foot wide breezeway. That's where the southern dog trot part of our house is. And then on the other side of that breezeway is a large, I think it's 18 by 14-foot guest house with a bathroom. And you have room for a little kitchenette if you wanted to put that in. We chose this house in retirement mainly for the lake and the views, and we didn't want something very big, easy to clean, LVP flooring, plenty of storage. I found it very easy to get rid of some things and downsize. We're kind of minimalist at heart also because we love the mid-century modern aesthetic, and we just love it out here. At the time that we designed this place, we looked at previous designs of kangaroo systems. My husband and I lived in an apartment at the time because we had sold our house, readying ourselves to move into this place. And on a napkin, many times going over it and over it and over it to make sure that our furniture would fit and what I wanted to place in this space. He would stand with a measuring tape at the other end of the apartment, and we would measure the couch and the chairs, and I just wanted to make sure it wasn't too crowded, and I'm surprised that we got it pretty good. We got plenty of furniture for people to sit at, but it doesn't feel too crowded. This is a Harry Bertoya chair from the 1950s we bought in Palm Springs, California years ago. Got this couch, all modern, a great place to buy modern furniture. This we got at World Market. We got this at West Elm as some of the other pieces that we purchased. West Elm has a lot of mid-century modern Scandinavian furniture. And then CB2, which is Crate & Barrel's younger, hipper sister. And that's where I prefer to buy my furniture. We find living here cozy. We try to practice a Norwegian saying called hygge, the coziness, especially in the wintertime. I like a smaller space because it does feel more secure and safe and cozy. That's it for our living room area. We watch TV, we hang out, have drinks, entertain friends, and we love it. On our way to our bedroom and bathroom, the ensuite area, and we have placed our washer and dryer in this closet. They're stackable, and then we have a big cabinet next to it to put our cleaning supplies in. Okay, everyone, we're in our beautiful bedroom. It's not big, but it has everything you need in it. We had to go from a king to a queen, not a problem. Bought these nightstands from West Elm, love them, perfect size for our bedroom. I wanted to mention we have a mini split in all of our rooms. It's air conditioning, deckless air conditioning, which we love because it's nice and cool in here. TV, and then of course our beautiful view when we wake up in the morning. It feels like we're in a tree house. You're probably wondering where our dresser is. We like to store our clothes in the closet and not have a dresser in our bedroom. So come with me. Okay, folks, we're in our closet. It's plenty big. We had Container Store design it for us. We just gave them the measurements and they helped us figure out what we needed. I have drawers here in our closet for both my husband and I. Plenty of room. I don't have tons of clothes like a lot of women do, but I just wear a few things, so this is more than enough.
We found this place by visiting with friends, and we decided that we wanted to have this kind of lifestyle out on the lake. We looked for weeks and weeks, and one day they just called up and said, hey, this piece of property came up for sale. We instantly drove out here and took a look at it and ended up being the perfect place for us. When we discovered the property and we came out and looked at it, there was 3 lots. He wanted to sell the whole thing for $300,000, but we decided at our age and time in life that we could just buy a third of it, and the owner was willing to divide it into 3 separate lots. And the price being where we could afford it, which was $100,000 for a 0.75 lot. We decided to jump on it at that point. It seemed to be a perfect fit for us.
May be the case for other places also. You just need to ask. Kangaroo Systems, the builder who built this house, they offer several ways. Ours is prefab, so that's a less expensive way to build a house. We opted for a shell instead of them finishing the interior of the house. So they built the outside, painted, did the deck and everything, stained it, and then they left and they were done. And then we moved in, and it was quite
an adventure.
Yeah, quite an adventure. We just had subfloors and we didn't have a kitchen. It was pretty much camping out, but he and I either finished it ourselves or we hired it out. You know, we don't tile, so we didn't put the floors in. We hired somebody to do that. But it took about another year to complete the inside. Mm-hmm. It was about $175. This was about 3 years ago for the outside of the house, and probably another $50 for the interior finish work. The utilities are out here in the country I think are much cheaper. Our electric bills are probably $100 a month and probably $150 in the summer when it's $110, which I think is very reasonable. We have a high roof, so you would think it would be more expensive, but it's not. Water is cheap. It's like $80 a month. We sold our last house in one day, 16 offers, and way over asking. But that was at a certain time of, 3 years ago when the market was hot. It's not quite so hot now with the interest rates being a little higher, but it allowed us to pay cash for this house, basically.
One of the biggest gains that we've realized was being mortgage free at this time. It's taken a lot of pressure off of being retired, semi-retired, and just looking forward to the rest of our days.
We're having a blast. This is our main bathroom that my husband and I share. We have double vanities, again, IKEA cabinets and IKEA countertops, which we love. Everything is drawers, just like we had in the kitchen, lots of room. I opted for a piece of furniture in here to store some things instead of a built-in. And then we have a giant shower, as you can see. Living out here in the country, you have to have a septic tank. Now, we opted for an Aerobic septic tank, which I think is the best because you can have a disposal and it just works much better. It has a sprayer. We have an area in the corner of our property for that. We have an on-demand water heater, which we love, and then we have a circulator for our guest house. So when we have people staying there in the winter, we circulate the hot water before they get into the shower and they don't have to sit there and waste water. Where we live, we didn't dig a well. For one thing, it's just rock out here, so there's no digging. It's very difficult. So we get our, I think, municipal water from a company that piped it in from a water tower across the lake. Here in this house, we were unable to put a curbless shower in like we did in our other home because we have a pier and beam home here. But we did opt for a bench as we age and can't stand, in the shower like older people can't. We can just sit on the bench and take a shower that way. We're up here in the loft where my grandkids hang out. They love it up here. They can see through the loft walls, so they can see that we're down there and everything's good. But it is quiet. That provides a little separation rather than just having a railing. I have 3 twin beds I got from IKEA. It's a trundle bed bottom, so it has rollers on there, so you can wheel them around. They move them around, decide who's they're going to sleep next to and who's not going to be sleeping next to them. There's some toys, and then of course the video game set up for my grandsons. They love that. If I didn't have grandkids and it was just my husband and I or just me, I would still choose a loft. This loft, I've seen some that are very uncomfortable to crawl into. This one's plenty big. We have a nice ladder that goes up to it. We have handles on either side of that ladder, so you have to, just go slow. If you didn't have extra guests or grandkids, you could use it as a nice big watch TV room or study. I think there's many uses for this loft. It's a very comfortable loft. This is part of our 71-foot deck here at the lake. These sliders right here are the sliders that lead into our living area, and then those sliders down there lead into our master bedroom. We have plenty of space here to have a party or entertain a lot of guests. It's a wonderful place. This is what we call the Breezeway, and this is where we spend probably 80% of our time. We have a sitting area with a fire pit, and then we have a nice table that we eat at quite a bit. Oh, and this view is why we spend most of our time out here, looking at that lake at night. It's just beautiful. With the sunset, we're facing west, so we have some beautiful Texas sunsets. Right here across from our main house is our beautiful guest house, and I try to set it up like a hotel room so our guests love to stay in it. We have a little entry area. I've got some things out, coffee bar for my guests, and we have an office in here also. We have to have both. Beautiful, again, view of the lake, nice big queen size bed, and then we have a nice size bathroom through here. We definitely wanted a space for our family and guests to stay in when they came out, because we live in the country, and so it's a little bit of a drive, and we want everybody to be safe at night, so they love to come out and stay here. Kangaroo Systems, who built our home, build typical tiny homes, and then they build larger tiny homes also, but tiny homes is their bread and butter. The most positive aspect of living out here is our family want to come here because it's fun. We're outside a lot. You have a sense of community. You're close to your neighbors. You can all cook out together. Your kids play together. You don't have fences. We don't have to spend all our time taking care of the house, mowing the yard. I just think it's a great thing. Hope you enjoyed the tour of our home today.
Thank you for watching.